Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Konich-Yeehaw podcast. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Jared.
And on this episode, we want to talk about what's in season spring 2023.
Right.
What we're watching this season.
Right, some things to look out for.
Yes, there are some things to look out for. And I think it's kind of funny that we kind of were like not sure if we were going to watch a lot of things this season. And it kind of ended up that we are watching quite a few things.
Yeah.
So get right into it.
Well, first I want to say what I'm watching first.
You want to do it
first? I am watching one thing that you aren't.
Okay, I didn't know if you want to go first or last.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm watching Gundam Wish from Mercury season 2, and it's good. They picked up not too far after season 1 ended, but season 1 ended with a pretty traumatic thing happening, and they haven't really talked about it in season 2.
Okay.
So not sure where that's gonna go.
I will say, okay, so you say they don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
You were watching it while I was playing video games,
Yeah.
so I kind of like glanced over at your screen every
okay.
once in a while.
Yes.
They kind of bring it up.
They don't bring up this specific event. Basically because the characters that it affects have not talked to each other since that has happened.
That's fair.
They haven't seen each other since that event happened, so they haven't had a chance to talk about it. But they do, like, other characters do bring up the point of mobile suits are made to kill people. And the main character's like, no, it's not. My mobile suit is made for some other reason. What that other reason is, I don't know. Just not to kill people.
Okay.
And so...
I thought they were having some, like, doubts if there was another way to handle that situation.
Yes, but not with the main character.
Okay.
So the main character's mom was like, yeah, I kind of told her to do it, and maybe she could have done it a different way.
Okay.
But like,
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
the ends justify the means. That was the whole point of the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, it's still good. I'm glad it's back. Yeah.
All right. I thought we should first start with Demon Slayer since
Yes.
it's season 3.
Yes.
Right?
Season 3, probably the biggest thing this season.
Yes, and it's the Swordsmith Village arc, which is supposed to... So you said it was kind of supposed to be Mitsuri's, which is the Hashira.
Girl?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Hashira that I'm talking about. It's supposed to be like Mitsuri's arc.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen her. All I'm saying, we
Not
haven't
really.
really seen her. We focused more on Tokito, the other Hashira, the younger one. He's been more plot relevant so far than Mitsuri.
Yeah.
But I will say I think it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm invested.
See, that's the thing about Demon Slayer, is that it is, no matter how bad it gets, it's still good.
Yeah.
It, at its worst, it is still better than most.
It's still a pretty good anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I would mind more that the other two characters aren't there.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't mind.
Me either.
Like-
I'm actually kind of happy that they aren't.
Yeah, like, I thought I would be like, oh, the gang's, like, broken up,
Yeah.
and, like, now what? But I actually don't mind that Tanjiro is kind of doing his own thing right now. And, I mean, he's just trying to get his sword back. It's honestly pretty funny because it seems like this is a whole arc, right?
Right.
But his goal in this whole arc is literally just to get another sword.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he ends up there. Obviously, there's going to be more added to it.
Yeah, so I'm interested
But-
to see if he, like, gets a sword some way halfway through.
Well, he might keep the sword that he just
Oh,
found.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's
Yes.
probably his new sword.
Yes, we're
That's right.
at this point we're finished episode 3,
Yeah.
which reveals a sword.
The secret weapon.
The secret sword, yeah. So he might keep that one.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be what's happening. I completely forgot about that.
About the secret sword,
Yeah.
yeah. But I am liking it so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually pretty cool that he's interacting with completely new characters.
Yeah, no, it definitely gives that's kind of what I was thinking with the other two main characters being not there, is that it gives him more time to interact with new characters.
Yeah, and he's a cool guy. So, like, a cool character on his own. So, I think it's really cool.
I will never, ever, ever get over his stupid super sense.
His super sense.
His super smeller.
Yep, his super smeller.
I'll never get over that.
I wanted to, for a moment, talk about the opening on the first episode.
Oh, yes.
Which is all of the demons gathering because the trio just defeated an upper rank.
Right.
What were your thoughts on that opening?
It was cool. Like, it definitely... I mean, I like that they did it, actually.
Okay.
I like that they did it because it already gave... like, an introduction to who the villains are going to be, so they don't have to explain it later.
That's fair.
So they're not going to have to. They're not going to have to like break up the action for exposition. So having them explain it immediately, like, okay, these are the villains. These are the two that are going to be the main villains for this arc, or at least as far as I can tell.
Right. Because they introduce a couple of new demons, but
a couple of them.
It isn't really quite clear who exactly is going to be important. Because it seems like some of them maybe aren't as important. But
Definitely.
Maybe they'll
because
show
there's
up.
like
I don't know.
there's two that their face is on the promo art.
Yes.
Like the one in the jar, and then the... Shoot, what was the other one? I don't remember which the other one was.
But the big hair.
Not the one with the big hair is actually on
the one with the
art.
lines, right?
Yes.
That's
yes.
the one with the lines on his face, right?
Yes, I think so.
That he showed up at the end of the Mugen Train? He showed up at the end of Mugen Train.
Yeah. So those two, I believe,
names.
are on the promo art for this arc as like the main villains. But as we already have seen, the number one, may have some things intertwined with plot relevant points.
Yes. So the demon number one, or upper rank number one.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this name out. Kokushibo. I don't think we've seen him before.
No.
Correct?
Correct.
We haven't seen him before. He's introduced with us just like looking at his back. And then it reveals that he has like 6 eyes.
Yeah.
Six eyes.
Yeah.
It reveals he has 6 eyes. But then there's like some flashback thing that's like he knew Tanjiro's family.
Yeah.
And
he also happens to look like the fighting machine.
And he looks like the fighting machine. Yeah.
That the blacksmith was like, my grandfather or my ancestor fought this legendary swordsman and they had to have 6 arms to replicate his movement.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, are these all the same person?
Seems like they're all the same person.
Yeah, there are some things that connect together that I'm like, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So Demon Slayer, still pretty cool. Still pretty cool, guys. Moving on though. We have Heavenly Delusion. Let's talk about Heavenly Delusion.
Honestly, the first episode didn't really get me.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So I wanted to start watching this. Heavenly Delusion is one that wasn't on our radar at first.
Yeah.
I wanted to start watching it because I saw people that I followed tweeting about it and saying like it's really good, and I watched a clip from it that wasn't in the first episode. It was actually in the second episode. I thought it was going to be in the first episode. So, yeah, I will say that the first episode doesn't really get you.
Yeah. Then the second episode baits us.
And then the second episode baits you. So they kind of explain some more things in the second episode as far as why they're out there. And they actually like show the monsters that they're fighting.
Yeah.
Like, finally, right? They have like...
The monsters are cool.
Yeah.
The monsters look cool.
They look really like alien.
Yeah.
They look very angel.
They do, yeah.
Evangelion angel looking.
Yeah.
They, like, I mean, you know, like really like super out there kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just not as man-eaters. They just kind of, they absorb people. They don't have like faces. They just...
Yeah. They have where
people.
their head is.
Yes.
And perhaps their eyes, but they like absorb in like a sticky
solution kind of like just
yeah.
So there's like two stories kind of happening in Heavily Delusion. One follows the main characters, which are Maru and Kuroko.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who are traversing the apocalyptic wasteland. They're traveling from Tokyo to somewhere.
Yeah, they're trying to find heaven.
Yes, a place called Heaven. Then there is another story where it seems like kids in this utopia, they all have the same like school uniform.
Yeah, probably the heaven they're looking for.
Probably the heaven that they are looking for. And it was a little bit confusing to me because at first I thought this was supposed to... I thought the heaven scenes were supposed to be flashbacks.
I also thought that.
But I think that they're happening in tandem with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's pretty unclear. But there's those main characters, and then there's also the characters that are in the maybe supposed...
Yeah, the facility.
The facility. These are kids that... haven't seen outside of the facility. They're curious about it.
Or one is curious about it.
One of them is... I think two of them are now.
Two? Okay.
Yeah. Well, one was, and then it made the other one curious. You know, that kind of thing. And I'm curious to see where it's going, if these stories are ever going to intersect.
I think it might near the end.
Yeah.
Which... Yeah, it's okay. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of fine with it. It's not, like, great.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought it was going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I guess just to address how we got baited in the second episode. So, in episode 2, it ends with Maru coming onto Kuroko, wanting to kiss her. And she rejects him, shoots him down, and she says, "Listen, I have to tell you something." And she says, "I know that I have the body of a woman, but I have the brain of a man, so I am a man." And that's how the episode ends.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, like, trans?
Yeah, a trans MC. Wow.
Trans main character. That's kind of cool. Definitely didn't see it coming. Yeah. Because Kuroko had never corrected or said anything otherwise.
Yeah, because Maru calls him sis. Yeah,
like sister.
Yeah, sis.
Even though they aren't related, by the way. It's just like
it's some weird thing. He's like, sis, but also I'm attracted to you.
Yeah, I think it's just like some sort of... It's kind of like a term of endearment. Like, oh, you're a friend who's an older girl. Yeah. So I'm going to call you like my older sister. Yeah. But regardless, episode 3 rolls around. And it turns out what Kuroko meant by that is that in the past, it starts with a flashback. Yeah. In the past, Kuroko was a boy. Like, Kuroko was a boy. Young boy.
There was a boy and there was a girl.
And there was a girl who they were related? I think they were related, actually.
Orphanage, so I don't think they were actually related.
Okay, but they saw each other as siblings. Yeah. Each other as siblings. I'm forgetting the sister's name right now. Yeah. But, basically, to keep it short, the brother, Kuroko, was attacked and killed. Yeah. By one of the monsters. He was killed by one of the monsters. And the sister tried to save him, tried to pull him out of the monster, but the monster had already eaten half of him. So like he was like
gone.
He's like cut in half, right? And then the sister's like, it's tragic, right? The sister's crying, blah 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 blah. Then
it just shows like surgery scenes.
Surgery happens.
Shaved head.
Surgery happens.
The
ring. It's
there's
like a
ring,
circle.
stitched ring all the way around
and
her head.
And when the brother wakes up, so when Kuroko wakes up, he is in the body of his sister.
Yeah.
And it's like freaking him out. Like he loses his mind, right? So he's like, well, does this mean that my sister is dead? Why did you guys do this? What happened?
How did this happen?
What happened? Like
yeah,
he's just confused.
Yeah,
he's
because
like he's literally like, how did I end up this way?
Yeah, he was dying. He saw his sister as his final, like, okay, I'm dying. I see her crying over me. Mm-hmm. And then next thing he knows, he is now in her body.
Yeah.
So fast forward, whenever she is like, I'm not sure because they use she pronouns.
They use she pronouns, but then when this episode rolls back over to present time,
yeah,
Kuroko is trying to explain to Maru, I want you to look at me like a guy. Yeah. I want you to view me as a man. I want you to
and
he, him, like, yeah.
So he's like, when he said, I have the brain of a man and the body of a woman, like, he meant that in, like, a really literal way. A literal, like, I have a cis male brain and a cis female body.
Yeah, and it's, like, such a cop-out. The thing is that it's such a cop-out because they're getting to have the best of both worlds in the sense of who they want their audience to be.
Yeah. So
you can bait, you know, queer people, gay people into thinking that this is kind of like a trans, like, gay, queer, whatever person that is a main character and I mean, like, does not identify with the body that they're in. Like, that's accurate, you know. But at the same time, I know that it is kind of, I mean, it's a valid argument to say, well, he's not trans. He's literally just stuck in his sister's body.
Right. Kind of like a Freaky Friday situation.
It's a Freaky Friday situation where he has no desire to change the body that he's in because I mean, that's his sister. He doesn't want to, like, do anything to it. But also, once he gets his answers, what then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just really like a cop-out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was pretty upset. It's the more the episode went on, we were like, we're actually pretty upset about this.
Yeah. I've also talked to some other people, and they're pretty upset about it, too.
Yeah, because it's just, like, the more you think about it, it's...
Yeah, it's really odd, very frustrating, and strange. But definitely a, like, oh, we have a trans character, but, like, not really.
Not really, yeah. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, might not finish this one.
Really, you think so?
I don't know.
We'll see. Check back in later.
Yeah.
Next, Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise.
So we got Heavenly Delusion and Hell's Paradise.
Yeah.
They're pretty different, though. At least they're in different time periods.
Yeah.
So Hell's Paradise is set in the Edo period. It is considered like a historical...
It's a period piece.
Fantasy or whatever. Yeah. It's about... so there's, like, the elixir of life, right? Like, the thing that will make somebody live forever. Everybody wants it. Nobody knows where it is. Well, they kind of... In theory, they don't know where it is. In theory, they can't... In actuality, they can't get it. Yeah. Because where they think it is, nobody has survived. It's on this island that's, like, super fantastical.
Yeah. Like another world. Like I think they even call it that.
Yeah.
Like the other side.
Yeah. Like, it's on Earth. But... Because they sail there.
Yeah.
But it makes no sense. It looks like paradise. So it's supposed to be enticing. But... everything there is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So, that's, like, the conflict.
Yeah. That's the setting.
So, now, the Shogun wants the elixir of life. Mm-hmm. And who do you send to a very dangerous island when you want that where everybody dies just to try and get something for you?
Death row inmates.
Death row inmates. Send the death row inmates. So the Shogun says, whoever brings me the elixir of life will get a pardon. You will get to live. You will get to go back to your life and do whatever it is that you want.
Right.
And so we have like a kind of like, we have our cast of characters, right? Then from there, all the different criminals that are trying to get to the elixir. The main one is oh my goodness, what are they called? They're not ninjas. They are shinobi.
Shinobi. Yeah, shinobi.
Yes. Okay. The main character is a shinobi, a very skilled one, and he is known as like the hollow. No emotion. Kills, doesn't think, doesn't feel, like very strong. He is very strong, very skilled, very powerful. He had been trained since he was literally a baby because another shinobi, the clan leader, murdered both of his parents and then took him because of reasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's very dangerous.
And so they've how the show starts is that he wants to die.
It starts with his execution.
And all of his executions are failing because he's just too strong.
He's just too strong. And the thing is that he's trying to say, come on, kill me. I have no will to live. I don't want to live anymore. Like, just murder me already.
Right. But the executioner points out, if you really didn't want to live anymore, why are you resisting?
Why are you resisting? Mm-hmm. Because he is resisting. Like, he like doesn't want to admit it because he wants to be all hollow and stoic and grr. But his executioner is like, if you would be dead if you actually didn't care. So they like kind of get into it, and he reveals that he has a wife that he would like to return to. Mm-hmm. He really loves his wife. He's a wife guy.
Yeah, actually.
He's a wife guy. He's always talking about his wife now. And, I mean, she's a very nice lady, so that's pretty cool. So he's, like, super gung-ho about this idea of, like, getting the elixir of life, going back to his wife. He wants to do it. So, there's him. And then the other main character is his executioner. Because, essentially, these criminals are chaperoned by their executioner. Mm-hmm. So they have to stay with their executioner.
Which are all like a skilled clan of executioners.
Yes. His executioner is the only woman, and she is the lowest rank mainly because she is a woman, but also because she has some reservations about executing people. Like, she's good at it, but she has some, like, emotional reservations about it.
Yeah, basically, everyone's like, all the executioners are like, put no emotion to it, and she's like, okay, but what about a little?
What about a little bit? So, I mean, they just landed on the island where we're at right now. Yeah. The first couple of episodes were them
calling
the criminals that would actually make it to the island.
Yeah, they're like, we have this size boat, and not all of you are gonna fit on it. So I guess you got to kill each other.
So figure that out on your own. We've had some glimpses at the other criminals, but no real interactions yet. Yeah. So all we know is that there's a guy and he really wants to get home to his wife.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's the so it's Gabimaru is the criminal, the shinobi, and then Sagiri is the executioner. So Sakiri and all the other executioners keep trying to say, I am not your ally and I am not your enemy. But I have been told that if you step out of line, I'm going to behead you.
Yeah.
Like, because you're still on death row.
Right. But others have pointed out that, like, the ends justify the means.
Yeah.
So don't be so rigid with the rules.
Yeah, apparently she's really rigid with the rules. Yeah. For example, whenever they get there, the criminals are supposed to keep their hands tied.
Yeah.
Which is like a lot.
Yeah.
For trying to,
survive
through this island, right? So Sagiri is like, tie your hands. And Gabimaru is like, are you serious? And she's like, yes.
Because there's this other criminal that's trying to kill him so that he can take his time finding the elixir and not have to worry about other people finding it first. And she's like, you have to fight him with your hands tied,
yes. Which was totally just to, like, be an asshole to him, by the
pretty
way.
much.
Because even Gabriel Marat was like, hey, he gets to have his hands free. What's up with that? And all of the criminals get to have their hands. Like, it's kind of a free-for-all. Like, I'm sure that the executioners and the criminals had somewhat of a similar experience with each other as far as, I picked you because I thought you had a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, anyway, I think this could be an interesting show.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Agreed.
I think that this is one that could be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. All right, moving on. Totally changing. Those are our, like, action-packed ones also. Yeah. So changing gears, we have Skip and Loafer.
Skip and Loafer is probably one of my favorite for this season.
Perfect.
It's very good.
You know, we love slice of life high school anime.
We love a cringe fail girl.
Who's, like, trying to do her best. Mm-hmm. So essentially, it's country girl goes to high school in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Goes to city school. She is living with her aunt.
Yeah.
And she has all of these big ideas, all these big plans. She's like, yes, I'm going to... First of all, she
has her entire life
figured out. She's one of those people who have their entire life figured out. She's going to become, like, a politician, like...
Yeah. Retire at such and such
age. Yeah. And she thinks it's... she thinks it's all going to work out. She has high hopes that it's all going to work out exactly as planned, which we all know
never happens.
It's just not how it goes, you know? Like, you can't plan like that and expect for those kind of outcomes. So, she's also incredibly smart. Like,
yes.
I feel like that's pretty much a given.
Yeah, she was top of her class coming into high school, but she fails in basically every other department.
Yes, so she wakes up early enough on her first day. Everything is going well. She gets lost on the train. Mm-hmm. Right? It's a new thing. She gets lost on the train. Oh, yeah, I should mention. She said that her middle school had 8 people in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of country. Okay? So she gets off at the wrong stop or something, and then she just, like, doesn't know where to go from there. And a guy... who is just a golden retriever. A guy who is just a golden retriever sees her. She's, in the school uniform, right? And she's, like, leaning against the wall, like, having a bad time.
Yeah. And
he's like, should I go, like, check on her? He's on the phone with somebody, right? He's like, should I check on her? And they're like, yeah, I mean...
You're both running late.
So, yeah. And sure enough, she's like... She sees that he's wearing the same uniform, and she's like, I'm trying to get here. She's, like, freaking out. They get there. They end up running, trying to make it. She gives her entrance speech because she's top of the class, and then she pukes all over the teacher, which obviously is not the first impression that she wanted.
And she gets she gets named as the puker.
The puker. She's the puker. Bless her soul. But once again, her association to golden retriever, which we should also mention, he's cute, right? Yeah. Like, tall, blonde. He's like the cute character, right? Mm-hmm. The one that all the girls are like, he's kind of cute though. And she makes a joke like, oh, maybe everybody in Tokyo is just hot.
Yeah.
But the classmates are like, nah, like, he's like hot. Like, regardless, they've kind of already had their connection now, right? Because they went through this whole, like, thing together of being late and running to the entrance ceremony. So he wants to be her friend. He's like, hey, like, give me your number. And that, of course, puts her on the social radar, right? These girls are catty. These girls are like, oh, he's interested in you? I'm interested in you. What's your deal? So then she kind of starts to grow friends that way. And it is, like,
She doesn't really understand social cues.
She doesn't understand the social cues. She doesn't understand whatever. It's, you know, everybody's talking around each other. I mean, it's very like drama, gossip, high school stuff, and she doesn't get it. She does not get it. She's like, why? What is it? The second or third episode. One of the characters is like, hey, like, just because he's so nice to you doesn't mean that he's like into you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, guys like that are just nice to everybody so that everybody like sees them as cool.
Right.
Right. And, you know, this main character's name is Mitsumi. Mitsumi is like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah, I guess he's just like that with everyone.
I guess he's just like that with everyone.
Down.
Yeah, not take it all so literally, quote unquote.
However, another
another girl character,
is,
who is like, she's like the beauty queen.
Yeah.
So like, you know, these all have like types, right?
Yeah.
So she's like the beauty queen, kind of Gyaru looking, like long blonde hair, with her nails done and everything, right? She then separately tells this main character, you know, she just said that to you so that she could get in with him, so that she could get closer to him and you wouldn't be in the way. Like, it's all very confusing.
Yeah.
It's all so confusing, you know? Like, but it's also kind of accurate. Like, all the chattiness, you know? All these he said, she said, this is what he means, this is what she means.
Right.
You know? But it's funny because she's like, oh, okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Like, she's like, I'm not sure how these people interact with each other. How am I supposed to interact with all these people with, like, social cues that I'm supposed to pick up on?
Yeah. But it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty funny.
Hilarious.
It's hilarious. And I think that so she accidentally calls him the name of her dog.
Yeah.
Because golden retriever boy for sure. And he's like, he thinks it's so funny, and he's like, you can keep calling me that, I don't even care. Like, he's super laid back and easygoing.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what he likes about, like, not that she's laid back, but she's very real.
Yeah.
You know, she's just a country girl.
They're playing opposites. Like, she is very, like, serious to the point about everything, while he doesn't care about anything. And that's kind of the whole point of them first meeting, is that she was the reason that he hurried to school. Because he was like, oh, I'm running late, who cares? And then he sees that she's like raring to get there, like no matter what. And he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll keep up with her. Yeah.
I'll keep up with her. Yeah. So very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute stuff.
And has actual trans representation.
Yes. They haven't like outright said it.
Yeah.
They've hinted at it, and to me, it was a little obvious, because how'd this tall Japanese woman get here?
Yeah, who has an Adam's apple.
Yeah, so they just kind of hint at it. That, like I said, they don't say anything outright. It's actually even more of a gossip point where, like, other people on the train are, like clocking her.
Her aunt.
It's her aunt, yeah. Anyway, but there's that. Next, my Clueless First Friend.
This one's really cute.
It's really cute. We were a little bit put off by it because it looks like to me, a point and click, what's it called? DeviantArt,
game?
Novel? What are they called?
Visual novel?
Visual novel. It looks like a point and click DeviantArt visual novel.
It does.
And I would know a lot about those, so trust me. And that was like, you know, it's a choice. It's not bad. It's not like the worst.
Yeah.
It's just, it looks a little intermediate. But the story is very cute.
It is.
So it's about elementary school kids, which we don't get a lot of stories about elementary school kids. They're usually middle school or high school if we're going to get like a school age slice of life anime. But these are like kids. And
they're in 5th grade. So it's about a boy. He is new to the area. That's important
is that he has not been in this school district before, essentially. He is new. And he goes to school, and everybody is teasing this girl who it looks gloomy, essentially. She looks goth. She has a black dress on and black bob cut with like the bangs and everything. And they're bullying her. And he is really naive. He's so sweet, but he's really naive, and he's like, why are they talking about you like that? And he becomes her friend, like, right away.
Yeah.
And she doesn't get it, but she's accepted it.
It's like, okay, so what it is that they call her the Grim Reaper, and everything she touches gets cursed, so they all bully her for it and everything like that. And so the thing is that you have this dynamic of the girl who is mature for her age,
right,
and the boy who is still like immature and still thinks that magic powers exist,
right,
and things like this.
Yeah.
So he's like, wow, you have such an awesome nickname. You have magic powers. I want magic powers. Do I get the magic powers from hanging out with you?
Yeah.
And so it revolves around this, like, the other kids are bullying her, but he takes it as compliments.
It's honestly so funny.
Yeah.
Because it really does just show, like, how being nice can just make when other people try to be mean really awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, in the most recent episode, for example, so this girl who is kind of who's the Grim Reaper, right, Nishimura, it's not that she rejects cute things. She actually likes cute things. She likes the pink and the frill and everything like that. But she has been the Grim Reaper for so long, she feels that if she were to act outside of this, like, perception that she has gotten from her classmates, that they would just tease her more about it.
Right.
But once again, like, these kids have been teasing her, like,
for a while,
like, in the past grades as well. It's just that this new kid doesn't know that, right? But there's a scene where she shows up in something cute, something not black. She's wearing pink now, right?
It's a frilly swimsuit.
She does a frilly swimsuit. She does the pink school uniform. Like, she's trying to like kind of be more outgoing, you know, because this boy is really encouraging. And sure enough, these other kids are like, like, you're trying so hard. Like, look at you trying to be cute. Or, wow, like, the Grim Reaper's actually wearing something cute. And the boy is like, isn't she so cute?
It's like, so you admit she's cute.
So you admit she's cute, huh? Yeah. And then they like fumble. The thing is that whenever, like, they fumble, they're like, no, I'm trying to be mean. And he doesn't get it. But, like, it's good that he doesn't get it, you know?
Yeah. It's like, they're probably one of the funniest for me was she gets a cat. She gets a black cat. And what's the boy's name?
Takada?
Takada is like, oh, you look just like the cat. The cat's so cute. You're so cute. And then the other the other kids, they're like, oh, she isn't cute. And he's like, but the cat's cute, right? And they're like, yeah. He's like, so she's cute
because she looks like the cat. And it's just a bunch of it's so much mind games where all these kids are just trying to be mean and they cannot get it through, and he just shuts them down. Yeah. Like, without knowing it, he's shutting it down so easily. And it's very sweet. Yeah. And then lastly, what we're watching is Insomniacs After School.
Yeah, which only one episode, as the time of recording, we've only seen one episode.
Yes, this one has the latest start for us. And it's cute.
It is.
It's cute. I am excited to see how it builds.
Yeah, it's definitely my kind of anime. I am very into dialogue heavy, like, introspection. And things like that. So, like, the Monogatari series, Call of the Night, things like that. And this is very much that. Yeah. There's not going to be a lot of action. It's just going to be vibes.
Vibes at night.
Vibes at night, and they're talking.
Yeah.
About
their feelings.
Yeah. Which is what I'm into.
Right. Essentially, it opens with the boy main character who cannot sleep. He has insomnia. And okay, first of all, we're right into the school festival.
Yes, which is weird.
Which is different from usual, typical slice of life school animes. Usually start at the beginning of the semester with the whole introductions and meeting people for the first time and stuff like that. No, we're right in the middle at the school festival. So everybody's trying to get ready for the school festival, but he is tired. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, he has done his share of work.
Yes.
He makes that very clear. He's done his share of work. He put his head down. He did his work, and he's done. And everybody else is goofing off, right? And he wants to just sleep. So...
Because he has insomnia.
Now, another part of this is that there is an observatory at the school, and it is haunted. It's haunted because somebody committed Godai.
Yes.
At the observatory. And so nobody goes there. They're very scared of it, and they have locked the observatory. Like the school has locked it. The school has locked it. So he has to go get some box. And it's a storeroom now. So he goes to the storeroom, which is the observatory, and he's like, "Man, I could sleep here." Mm-hmm. So he goes to sleep there. But little does he know, or does he? He soon finds out there's somebody else asleep there, and it is a girl who also has insomnia. Mm-hmm. Wow, perfect. I know. And they are forced to kind of get to know each other because they accidentally locked themselves in. Right? And then they do fall asleep once again. They do get rescued, and now they are insomnia friends.
Yes. Now, instead of just laying awake at night, they will be exploring the town at night and doing things together at night, and then sleeping during class, I guess.
Yeah.
In the observatory. Which, I would like to point out, is pretty much just the plot of Call of the Night, just without vampires. Mm-hmm. Because I already know where this show is going to go. They're going to be like, oh, wow, the night is so freeing. It's so great. And then they're going to fall in love.
Well, they're obviously going to fall in love.
Yeah.
She, got a crush right away.
Yeah.
The girl has already kind of attached herself to this guy.
Yeah. Because I think we figured out that she's just a co-sleeper. She just needs someone else to be there.
She just needs somebody else to be there. But that is all that we are watching.
Yes. Right
now this season. Thank you guys for listening. Maybe some of these things are interesting to you. Maybe not. I don't know. What are you guys watching? We know there's a lot of other things going on right now. Or other animes that are happening that are maybe we'll watch them. But we haven't decided yet. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Jared.
And thank you guys so much for listening. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.